students. Today we are going to learn under the refraction of light at curved surface, the focal length of the lens changes with surrounding medium. If the surrounding medium optic density changes, the focal length of the lens changes. This is the one property that we are going to expose with an activity. So let us see this one activity. So what is that activity here? The focal length of lens changes with the surrounding medium. For this, what do you say? First you take one concave lens and lens holder. This is called lens holder, and a jar, a glass jar. Okay, water. These are the requirements, along with the one stone. One stone is required and water. These are the requirements. So first we should determine the focal length of the biconvex lens in air medium. First, what is it? Determine the focal length of biconvex lens in air medium. In what medium? In air medium. So in air medium, how much focal length is there? That we have to determine first. Second one. Now take a glass jar or a glass cup. Its height is 4 times to that of focal length of the lens. Suppose the focal length is 10 centimeters. The height of jar is the 40 centimeters. If the focal length is 15 centimeters, height of jar is 60 centimeters. Like that, we should take the jar height is 64 times than the focal length of the lens. Now, take one stone in the jar at the bottom. Just you put a stone. This is the stone. A stone put at the bottom inside the jar. Now fill the jar 3/4. Fill the jar with water up to 3/4. This is the water. This is the water. Right. Now, with the help of lens holder, hold this lens in horizontal to the stone and dip in vertical position. So like this. So this is the lens holder here. This is the lens. So put the lens in the lens holder and insert that holder just above the stone. Yes, above the stone here. This is the lens. The lens is horizontal to the stone. Now slightly move the lens upward direction. So when it moves a certain height, then you can see the image of the stone clearly. Now measure the height of this from the stone to the lens. That is called the distance of the object. So you find where you get the image, that image is indicates the focal length. Now observe this focal length, where you get the image clearly. Just you mark this one. Just you mark it. How much height is there above the stone, and compare the focal length of the air, air media, and focal length in water media. These are the two media there. One is air media. Air media we determined before the starting this activity. After conducting this activity, we observed that when we move the lens above the stone with the help of the lens holder, at a particular height we can observe the stone clearly. The image of the stone is clear. So at that point stop it, then you measure the distance. The distance is equal to the focal length of the lens in water. Now compare these two. The focal length in air is less. The focal length in water is more. So as the density increases, the focal length increases. Okay. So let us say so the focal length increase in what? In water or any greater optical density medium. So not only water, take the alcohol, anyone. If suppose here compared to this air media, the surrounding media is a optically denser, then the focal length of the lens increases. Remember this one. Focal length of the lens increases. If the surrounding media is less denser than air media, then you find the focal length decreases, then it is lens acting as a concave lens. Concave lens. Understand here? So when the surrounding medium of the lens is similar to air media or optically more denser media, then the focal length is increasing. If the optical density of the surrounding medium increases, focal length increases. So therefore, around this lens, here is the lens. Around this lens, the water is there. Hence, the focal length of the lens is increased. It is greater than focal length in air medium. Focal length in air medium. That is the opposite correct. Suppose, if the lens present in a medium which is less optical density than air medium, in that case, the convex lens behaves like a concave lens. Convex lens behaves like a concave lens. Just to see one example. When we take a air bubble inside the water, what is say? The air bubble is acting as a, actually should act like a convex lens. The air bubble should act like a convex lens. But when we observe the optical density of the air bubble less than the surrounding medium, so therefore the air bubble acts like a concave lens. Air bubble acts like a concave lens. Now in this case, what happens when the convex lens met with the glass and the surrounding media is air, it has a certain focal length. If its surrounding media is a more optical density, then the focal length increases. If surrounding is less optical density, focal length decreases. Focal length decreases. Okay, right. Now, if air bubble, just to take the air bubble present in the water should act like a convex lens. But since surrounding media is denser than this air bubble, therefore it acts like a concave lens. Remember here one more point. This is the first point understood. Compared to the air media, surrounding media is optically more denser, so the focal length increases. So the focal length in water is greater than focal length in air medium. First point. If the surrounding medium is less optical density than air, in that case the focal length of the lens decreases. This is the first point you must remember. Second point, lens. If a lens made with a glass is more denser. Glass is more denser than water. Glass is more denser than water. Therefore, the glass acts as a glass, that is called lens. That is called lens. Lens density, the optical density is greater than water. Therefore, it acts as a biconvex lens. It acts as a biconvex lens. When you see the air bubble contains air is a less optical density than water. In that case, the air bubble acts as a concave lens. The air bubble acts as a concave lens. Why? Because the optical density of air bubble less than surrounding water. That is the reason. But in this case, the glass optical density is greater than water. Hence, that glass, biconvex glass, there's a converging lens or biconvex lens. Converging lens. This is the point. Now, once again, listen. First point, what the aim is? The focal length of the lens changes with surrounding medium. What we require to do that, to show that activity? Biconvex lens, lens holder, jar, stone, water. First you take the biconvex lens, determine the focal length of this biconvex lens in air medium. Just to determine the focal length of biconvex lens in air medium. Second point, next you take the glass jar, its glass jar height is 4 times greater than focal length of the lens. Here is a focal f is a, the height of the jar is a 4f, 4 times greater. Now, take one black stone, keep at the bottom inside the jar. Keep at the bottom inside the jar and fill the jar with water. Now, insert this lens with the help of lens holder and keep it horizontal to the stone. Keep the lens horizontal to the stone with the help of the lens holder. Now, slowly move this lens in upward direction. As we are moving upward direction, the image of this stone gradually changes to, at a point, it appears a bright image. The stone appears a bright image. At that height, the focal length is that length of the jar is called focal length. The height of the water from the stone to the lens is called focal length, and that focal length in water. Now compare the focal length in water and compare the focal length in air media. Now you observe that focal length in air media is less than focal length in water. Why? Because the lens is optically denser than surrounding medium. So the lens is optically more denser than surrounding medium. Second point, the lens is present is a surround medium, is air medium. Compared to the optical density air medium, water medium is greater. So therefore, as the optical density of the surrounding medium increases, the focal length of the lens increases. Understanding? The surrounding medium optical density increases, the focal length of the lens increases. If the surrounding medium optical density decreases, the focal length decreases. So that is the second point. And one more point, the density of the optical density of the lens is greater than surrounding medium. Optical density of lens is greater than surrounding medium. Then it is acting as a biconvex lens. That lens is acting as a biconvex lens. If the lens optical density is less than the surrounding medium, if the optical density of the lens less than the surrounding medium, the biconvex lens behaves like a concave lens. For example, air bubble. Air bubble is looking like a biconvex, but the air optical density is less than the surrounding water. Therefore, that air bubble is acting as a concave lens, diverging lens. It is acting as a diverging lens. Okay. Now let us go to this another one. Understand clearly this also? So 2 points you must keep in mind. When the glass biconvex lens, its surrounding medium optical density increases, focal length increases. That is the first point. Second point, the density of the lens greater than the surrounding medium, it acts as a converging lens. If the optical density of the lens is less than the surrounding medium, that biconvex lens acts as a diverging lens, concave lens, behaves like a concave lens. Example, air bubble is a less optical density than the surrounding water, therefore that air bubble acts like a diverging lens. It acts like a diverging lens. Okay. Now let us see this another concept. Lens maker's formula. So we have to reduce the lens maker's formula. What is the lens maker's formula? N2 by V minus N1 by U is equal to N2 minus N1 by N2 minus means you can refer this. N1 is nothing but taken as air media. Air media means 1. You can take it as 1. N2 minus or N minus N minus 1 by R1 minus R2. R1 minus R2. So this is called lens maker's formula. Lens maker's formula. So we have to deduce this formula. So reduce this formula, we should take one outline ray diagram. This is the convex lens. Here this is the optic center, principal axis. Okay. Now let us see this one. First one. It is a point size object. O is the object. From the optic center to the object is called distance of the object. The distance of the object is taken as x. It may be u. Right. Now u is the distance of object. So from this object, a light ray passing through the principal axis, we know already that is a undivided, unrefracted. Okay. Now second light ray incident on the lens at the point A. This is the incident ray with some angle to the principal axis, incident at the point A. From that point is what? Convex surface, and enter into what? Denser medium. So the light ray refracts. The light ray refracts if only the surface is present, A surface is present, then you find the refracted ray should travel like this. This is the expected refracted ray. So you find the image is present here somewhere else. Q. Q is the image, expected image. Q is the expected image. Expected image. But what happened here? The light ray touches the B surface, second surface of the lens. It is refracted and it is crossing the principal axis at the point I. So I is the image. So the distance of the image is equal to b. Image is equal to b. The distance of this infinity value is equal to x. X is. Now let us see this one. So here is the surface. Radius of the curvature. This is the S1, S2. For S1, R1 is the radius. For S2, R2 is the radius. Now refractive index. So the light ray travel from air media, that is N1. N1 is taken as 1. And glass media, N2 taken as A or N. You take as a N. N2 value is taken as N. This is the N. Okay. So now let us see. The incident ray refracts at the point A. The incident ray refracts at the point A. Consider here once again. Here is the biconvex lens, and this is the imaginary the principal axis. The midpoint is called the optic center. Along the principal axis, at a point, we put a small object is called point size object. From that object, one incident ray with some angle to the principal axis, incident at the point A on the surface of the biconvex lens. Now there at the point, the light ray refracts, and this refractor travels straight, it crossing the principal axis at the point Q. So you can expect the image is forming at the Q. Now the distance from the optic center to the Q is x. We don't know that value how much is there. Now here is what happens actually. The refracted ray at the point A touches the concave surface of the second surface at the point B and again refracts, and the second refracted ray crossing the principal axis at the point I. So the I is the image. I is the image. So here is the imagine 2 points are there. So from this one, if there is no concave, you have this convex surface, this is a concave surface to this side. If there is no concave surface, we can expect the image at the Q. Because of this presence of the concave surface, the image is identified at the point I. So let us see this procedure. What is the PO? PO is equal to distance of the object. Next, PQ. What is the PQ? Expected distance of the image. That is x. That is x. PQ is equal to x. That is the image distance expected is equal to x. Next, radius of curvature. Radius of curvature is equal to R1. For this surface only we are S1 surface we are taking. R1 is the radius curvature. Now refractive index N1 is equal to, and N1 means the light ray incident in the incident ray is equal to 1 because it is a air medium. N2 is equal to N. N2 is equal to N. Or you can write here is a N1 is equal to NA. You can do like that also. NA means refractive air medium. N2 is equal to NB, refractive index of the glass medium. So now you know the curved surface formula. Curved surface formula. What is the curved surface formula? N2 by B minus N1 by U is equal to N2 minus N1 by R. This is the formula. This formula is called curved surface formula. So introduce these values in this equation. So when we introduce the values under the equation, you find NB. What is N2 means? N2 is equal to NB. Substitute the above values in curved surface formula. So when you see the curved surface formula, N2 is equal to NB. NB by what is V? V is equal to X. NB by X minus NA by U minus U. Minus minus, you take it as a plus. Is equal to NB minus NA by R1. So we are referring these values for the first surface. For the first surface, N1 is 1, N2 is N. Like that you have to deduce the values and substitute the values in the curved surface formula. Then you get this one, NB by NA by NB minus NA by R1. Right, now what happens here? The refracted ray touches second surface, then again refracted again refracted. In the second surface, reference the second surface, what happens? N1 is equal to NA, N2 is equal to NB, N2 is equal to NB, opposite. So in this case what happens? U is equal to PQ, because for the second surface refraction, Q image is acting as an object to the lens. Remember, this is important Q. So in this case, what is the Q? Q is the expect image. That image acting as a object to the second surface. Object to the second surface. So in that case, what you say? PQ. Here you write this one. Expected image is at Q. So Q image acts as an object to the second surface. To the second means B surface. Second surface B. So in that case, PQ is equal to U. PQ is equal to U, and PI is equal to V. So PQ is equal to U, that is equal to X. That is equal to X. X is the U, PI is equal to V. Then R, radius of curvature is equal to R2. Second surface radius curvature is R2, then you take it. This R2 is A minus because opposite to the incident. So we are counting from the optic center to this side. This direction is opposite to the incident ray. So it is called minus 1, minus R2. Understand here? This is, this is the object. This is incident ray expected. So to this here, this is the opposite direction. Counting this side. So it is a minus R2. Radius curvature. Now again, you find, in this case, in the second say, N1 is equal to NB. N1 is equal to NB here, because now this ray is incident A and this is refracted ray. So for this considered value, this glass, that lens medium is called the first medium, air medium second medium for the second refraction. Therefore N1 is taken as NB, N2 is taken as NA, NB, NA. Now again, substitute the values in the curved surface formula. Substitute in curved surface formula. Curved surface formula. Then you find, what is the formula? N2 by B. What is N2 is equal to NA. NA by V. V is equal to V only. Minus N1. N1 means NB. NB by U. U is a plus. U is a plus. Okay. Right. Now, NB minus now this is NA minus NB by R2, second one. So here is the first equation and here this is the second surface equation. Here is the NB by X plus NA by U is equal to NB minus NA by R1. Here NA by B minus NB by U, NB by U. U is nothing but what? Here now U is a X value. U is the X value. So NB minus NB by R2. Now these two equations are now add the first and second equations. Now add first and second equations. So once again listen, then I will conclude this one so that we can, otherwise we have to divide. So Lenzmaker's formula, N2 by V minus N1 by U is equal to N minus 1 by R1 minus R2. Or you can write like this also, N1 minus N minus 1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. That is also you can write. That is called the Lenzmaker's formula. So to derive this formula, so let us observe this biconvex lens. The two surfaces are there. Two surfaces are there, N1 and 2. Now the, what do you call this one? R1, R2 is the radius curvatures. U is the distance of the object, initial object. Now the image is expected due to the first surface is at the Q, that is the image distance. By using these values, you can write the PO is minus U, PQ is V X value, R is equal to R1, N1 is NA, N2 is NB. Now by using this curved surface formula, N2 by V minus N1 by U is N2 minus N1 by R. So by using this formula, substitute the above values, NB by X plus NA by U is NB minus NA by R1. Now for the second surface, again the refracted again when touches the B surface, it is again refracting and at the, crossing at the point I. Now in this case, the image at the Q is acting as object to the lens, object to this lens. Therefore, you can write PQ is equal to U is X, PI is V, R radial curvature is minus R2, N1 is NB, N2 is NA. Here the light is traveling from this to this direction. So this is taken as N1, this is the N2 value. Here N1 is equal to NB, N2 is equal to NA, opposite. So substitute the curved surface formula, NA by V minus NB by X is equal to NA minus NB by R2. Now add this to 1 and 2 equations. Now add the two equations, 1 and 2. When I add 1 and 2, what is saying? NB by X plus NA by U, NA by R1 plus NA by V plus NB by X equal to NA minus NB by R2. So when I add these two equations, what answer you can write? NB by X, NB by X. So these two values are opposite. So these two values are opposite. These two are cancelled. So what the remaining is here? NA by B, NA by B plus NA by U is equal to NA by this one NA by R1 minus NB. NB by R1 minus NA by R1 plus NA by R2 minus NB by R2. So in this case, minus NA plus NA is cancelled. So you can write this simplification. So by using these values, simplify these expansions here. Now you find NB by NA, NB by NA minus 1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by